All right, thank you very much for your patience. I I can see the facilitator for today's program is here already, and so we have given everyone enough chance to catch up with us. So on this note, I want to introduce the training officer of 3D Africa to take over. He's going to say one or two things and introduce the speaker for today's program. So over to you, Ruben. Thank you very much.
Okay, hello, good evening, everyone. Can you all hear
Good
me?
evening. Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. So, we welcome you all to this session. Today, our speaker is Mr. Var Okafor. He is a leadership evangelist, a productivity strategist, and a transformational speaker in Nigeria. He is the executive director and training consultant at the Var Okafor Company. He has received recognition for his work by Young African Leadership Network, amongst many others. He will take us on today's topic, which is skill development. And so before I ask him to come on, I think I want to say a few things about skill development because it's very important we know what we are opting into as we begin this training. I think that skill development enhances the proficiency of a person in any given environment or any profession. It's not enough to know what you want to do. Not enough to even do what you want to do. It's more of knowing what you want to do, studying what you want to do, and staying by it. Developing yourself daily because everybody is doing what you are doing, and everybody knows what you are doing. But if you continue to develop yourself, you continue to read widely, you continue to do many other things, you can develop yourself, and then your skill will show. So first of all, you have to set your career goals for you to know what you want to do. You have to get a mentor. And I think that's the reason why we're here today. The facilitator is one of our mentors. And so for you to have the skill and to develop yourself in a certain profession, in any profession that you want to get into, you have to get yourself a mentor. And so you read books, you join training courses, just as what we are doing at 3G Africa. And then you practice every time. At any given opportunity, you try to practice in order to develop your skills. And so that being said, I would love to introduce Mr. Okafor to the group so he will take it up from here. So let's make welcome Mr. Okafor as he takes us in today's session. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Good evening. I think we'll make use of the chat box. So I would love to know the people I'll be speaking with today. Speaking to rather. So just kindly put in the chat box your name and where you're joining from. Yeah, I'm speaking from Jos, Nigeria at the moment. So just put in the chat box where you're joining from, Lagos, Akwa Ibom, let's just do that. Yeah, I think it's very important to do that. Just in the next 1 or 2 minutes, just put in the chat box where you're joining from. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's just do that. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. I love how come nobody's camera is on? Okay, I'm just going to put mine. Samuel Elijah is joining from Sierra Leone. Um, wow, awesome. Kenny Simiyu, Kenya. Julius from Tanzania. Deborah Durotimi from Nigeria. I know, like we are in Nigeria. Ota John is joining from Benue State. Abdul Joel Kamara, Sierra Leone. Amazing, amazing. Great, 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 great. Okay, so my my video is on and you can see my face. So I don't know who is gonna join me to show your face. Yeah, awesome. Good to see you. Elijah, Elisha, Kalowa. I don't know if I got it right. Julius, great to see your handsome face. Amazing. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Now we're talking. Ruben, nice to see your face. So, I want to be sure of those I'm talking to. I want to be able to see your faces. So someone can just, switch off the camera and we'll be doing something else. And I'll be here speaking to myself. So I wouldn't want that to happen, and it's going to be a very brief talk. I don't intend to keep you more than necessary. I don't intend to bore you with so many words. I'm here to talk about skill development, and it's going to be straight to the point, right? And then yeah, so if there are concerns, feedback, questions, and then I'll be ready to answer. So in the next 25 minutes, I'll simply talk about the topic and then give room for questions, concerns, and feedback. I'm really happy to be here in your midst to talk to, amazing men and women like you. I find it very, very honorable to do that. So before we delve into what we have for today, I want to say a very big thank you to my hosts, and his incredible team for putting this together to make sure that we learn one or two things. I understand that it's a 3-day event or a 4-day event, and it promises to be life transforming, promises to be life changing. And so I have the honor to speak on the 20th. I'm supposed to speak on 25th, but because of my very, very busy and tight schedule, I'm able to, just fix it today so that we'll, get things right. So, like he rightly introduced me, my name is Val Okafor, and I'm a public speaker. I'm also a leadership and personal development trainer. Yeah, I help individuals and organizations achieve exponential growth so that they can become valuable anywhere they find themselves. So much of my work is related to helping individuals to be able to identify, develop, and harness their unique potential so that they can be relevant in entrepreneurship, in education, in governance, as the case may be. So as we talk about skill development tonight, I would love us to really pay attention to some of the key terms and principles, illustration, experiences I'll be sharing tonight. All right. So, like I said, it promises to be very short, straight to the point, and simple. All right. So let's hit the ground running. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand that everybody who is alive today has something on the inside of him. Everybody who is breathing in and out has something on the inside of him, and that thing is called a talent. That talent is given to you by your creator to be able to add value to the world. That talent you have on the inside of you was given to you by your creator to become valuable, to become relevant, to become useful. So I used to tell people that nobody was born by accident. That's one. Two, nobody was born by experiment. That's two. Rather, 1963, nobody was born as a social security number. Nobody was born to come and clap for all the people and celebrate all the people. We are all here to add value to the world, to unlock certain rewards for ourselves, right? And so it's very important you understand this fact. It's very important you understand. Please, if you're not speaking, just kindly mute your mic so that we don't get distracted. All right. So everybody has talent and it was given to you by God to add value to the world. However, talent is never enough. Talent is not enough. All right. You have to move to the next level, which is talent development. Okay, which is part of what I'm talking about today. Talent development, skill development. It's not enough to have a talent. Everybody is talented, but it's not enough. So why is talent not enough? Here is the reason. I'll give you the reason. The reason is if you offer your talent at the raw level, at the preliminary level, people will not value you. People will not take you serious unless you've been able to develop that talent into something useful. I'm going to give you an example. If I give you raw rice today, if I give you rice that has not been cooked, you will reject it, although it is rice. When people accept the rice, please kindly mute your mic if you're not speaking. When people will accept that rice from you is when you have cooked the rice and possibly added stew to that rice. That's when people will accept it in appreciation and say, thank you for this delicious meal. What happened between when you gave them the raw rice and they rejected it and when you gave them the rice that has been prepared? Something called process, something called development happened in the middle. So this raw rice was now prepared and cooked to be able to be eaten. That's the problem with many people today. They are super talented, but they are nowhere. Nobody knows them. Nobody appreciates what they bring to the table. Nobody appreciates the value they're bringing because it has not been developed. It will be rejected like the raw rice that was given to you. And many of us that are joining, I can see Kenya, I can see Sierra Leone, and those of you that are here with me in Nigeria will agree to the fact that Nigeria is blessed with crude oil. And so many other sister African countries are blessed with crude oil. But is crude oil enough? No, it's not enough. So what happens is that they export the crude oil to another country where it's going to be refined. Pay attention to the word I'm using, refined. And then from the crude oil, you have petrol, you have kerosene, you have gas, you have bitumen, you have so many things that will come from this crude oil. Mind you, crude oil, a barrel is sold for $60 to $70 per barrel. But when it has been refined and brought back, it is sold for over $100. Why? Something called development happened in the middle. Something called renewal happened in the middle. And so from the raw state to the finished state or the refined state, this development happened and people are able to appreciate it more because it has been refined. Ladies and gentlemen, on this call, if you will add value anywhere you find yourself, then you have to develop your skill. You know what? Nobody pays attention to raw gold. All right? Nobody pays attention to raw gold because raw gold smells. It's irritating. It's not fascinating. All right. But what happens when it has been polished? Everybody will brag, oh, I'm using the gold chain, I'm using the gold wristwatch. Come on now. The Champions League, gold cup, gold trophy, African Cup of Nations, gold trophy. But when it was still raw, nobody went to that point because it's smelling, because it's unattractive. But when it was polished, now you can see everybody gravitating around the gold. That is how your skill is. That is how your talent is. Right now, it may be rudimentary. Right now, it may be unattractive. All you need to do is to refine your talent, refine your skill, okay, to be able to remain relevant to be able to remain valuable anywhere you find yourself. So having laid that foundation, I'm going to be sharing with you things that you are able to do or start doing immediately so that your skill will be appreciated the more. Number one, what do you need to pay attention? Now, first of all, you need to identify a skill you love, all right? You don't do everything. No, you don't do, the world doesn't celebrate people who do many things. The world celebrates those who do one thing, and that one thing solves the problem. Okay, let me give you an example. If we think about Facebook, what name comes to your mind? Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook. I mean, he has other businesses like WhatsApp and Instagram, right? But what comes to your mind when you think about Mark Zuckerberg is Facebook. One thing. What comes to your mind when you think about Michael Jordan? Basketball. What comes to your mind when you think about Tiger Woods? Golf. What comes to your mind when you think about the Williams sister? Lawn tennis. So it is the people who have mastered one thing that the world celebrates. So you have to, first of all, identify a skill you want to be known for, a skill you apply that will bring solution to problems and stay there. Okay, so that's the thing we need to talk about. So in 2014, I discovered that I had the knowledge most people around me didn't have, and I wanted to share the knowledge. I wanted to pass this knowledge to them. I wanted to add value to their lives. I discovered that I needed the skill of public speaking to be able to add value to them. So it's one thing to see a problem, it's another thing to have the skill to be able to solve that problem. So there was the problem of ignorance, the problem of confusion, the problem of indecision. A lot of people, they lack self-identity, they lack self-awareness. They were struggling with inferiority complex, imposter syndrome around me. And so I knew that I had the knowledge to help them out. But I needed a skill known as public speaking to be able to solve that problem. So what did I do? I enrolled into a public speaking training and got trained and read books and practiced to be able to, solve the problem at an appreciable level. And today I'm using that skill to speak to all of you today. You understand? So it's one thing to be able to identify a problem, and another thing to know the skill that is needed to solve the problem. Are you getting value? Are you getting value tonight? Please put in the comment section. Someone say, I'm getting value, I'm getting value, I'm getting value. All right, so let me be sure that we are on the same page. Let me be sure that we're on the same page. Let me be sure we're on the same page before I start sharing the things you need to do in order to constantly develop your skill. All right, let me see. Who's ready for that? Who's ready for that? Great. Awesome.
I'm ready.
All right. Thank you, King. All right. So guys, great, awesome. Thank you very much, Adegbite, Samson. Thank you, Lubem. Thank you. Awesome. So let's get to the next thing. What do you need to do in order to develop your skill? What do you need to do in order to develop your skill? Number one, mentorship. I made a post on my Facebook timeline where somebody is talking, please mute your mic, where I x-rayed what to do with mentorship. You see, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot succeed alone. You can never succeed alone. No man is an island. So you cannot say, I have all the knowledge, I don't need nobody to help me or to guide me to do this thing. No, you will keep failing. You will keep drowning. So mentorship is the ability to identify somebody who is already succeeding or somebody who has succeeded at what you want to do. Locate the person and be mentored. We live in a generation of people who think they've arrived. No, you have to constantly learn. You have to constantly be under the tutelage of somebody who has gone ahead of you. That's what mentorship is about. Mentorship. Mentorship helps you to avoid the trials and errors, helps you to avoid the mistakes that person has done. So if it took him or her 10 years to get to where they are today, it's going to take you less than 3 years to get there. The reason is this: they are not going to allow you to pass through the trials and error anymore. They will just help you with the success and the principles that aided them to pass. Is somebody getting the point now? So they will just help you with the successes and the principles and the tricks they passed through to be able not to make the mistakes they made. All right. So if I've gone through a road and I discover that there's a big ditch on that road, there's a big hole that it's able to swallow you. When I'm coming back to inform other people who are yet to travel that road, what will I tell them? Just excuse me, just got a message. Okay. All right. I'm expected to do something. 1 minute, guys. Okay. All right. Yeah. So mentorship will help you to overcome all the trials and errors that person has, made in the past. It makes you to be very fast. It makes you to be, focus on only the success tips and principles. Is that okay? So get a mentor, locate that person who is already succeeding at what you're aspiring to do. Mine was public speaking, right? Mine was public speaking. So I had to locate people who were already succeeding in public speaking. I had to look at people who were already doing great things, speaking to people, training people, affecting lives through the words of their mouth. And I located them. And I followed them. The next thing to do is volunteering, guys. Volunteering is a great tool that will sharpen your skill. It will sharpen your skill faster than reading books. It will sharpen your skill faster than any conference at all. Volunteering. Now that you've located a mentor, the next thing to do is to volunteer. Maybe for that mentor, or to volunteer with an organization or with a group of people doing something you love so much. So back in the days when I was still in the university, I love to attend conferences. I love to attend events. I love to be at, public speaking engagements like this, so that I'll be able to learn. And one day, guys, in 2017 or 2018, if I'm not mistaken, the school had invited someone to come speak to us, a management consultant who was based in Lagos. She came and she was training. She was speaking to the women. Women were more in that conference. So she was speaking to the women. She was moving here and there. I was just looking at her because I knew this was what I wanted to do. I wanted to speak to people. I wanted to change lives, right? So I saw somebody who was already succeeding at what I want. Guess what? My focus was on her as she was pacing here and there. I was just following her. I was just listening to her. And she just asked a question. She said, how many of you would love to speak like me? All the ladies in the house were shouting, hey, I want to speak like you. But that, for me, I was like, my God, when will I get to this level? When will I be able to stand before 500 people, 1,000 people and speak to them with this confidence, with this courage? Guess what I did after that day? I went on Facebook and I added her as a friend. It took a while before she accepted, but she finally accepted. And then I was following her activities. Hey, I'm giving you tips and tricks and what to do. I was following her activities, commenting on her activities. For some people that would just barge into the DMs, the inbox of your prospective mentor, and then you are mentor me. No, don't do that in the 21st century. Don't do that. You'll be shooting yourself in the foot. Okay, mentor me, mentor me. No, you don't do that. You have to present yourself like somebody who is ready for an opportunity. So after I was following, I was commenting, I was saying kudos, the job that you're doing, helping organizations, helping individuals. I was just commenting, following. After 1 year, the next year, she saw my post on Facebook and she needed to ask me a question. Guys, you don't want to know how excited I was answering that question. I was so excited that this woman I've been following has finally answered my question, asked me a question, and it felt so honorable to answer her question. So I DM'd her, I sent her an inbox explaining, what she was asking for. I was really excited. And then I got her phone number on my phone. And then guess what, guys? After some months, she called me. Oh my God, like I was reading, but I jumped from my reading table. I was like, woo, who is calling me? I'd never met this woman, but she was like a role model. And she called me on phone. I was like, wow, this is great. This is awesome. So she said, hello, Val. Sorry, hello, am I on to Val? I said, yes, ma, this is Val speaking. I said, okay, I've gone through your Facebook posts and I I think that you're qualified for something I want to do. Wow. And I said, okay, ma. She said, okay, I'll call you tomorrow to give you the details of what I want you to do. And tomorrow turned into 2 months, but I didn't care. After 2 months, she called again, said, okay, sorry, I've been busy speaking from one conference to another, training people, and all that. And so she gave me the details of my responsibility, and I accepted it. I was going to coordinate a leadership development program for young leaders in a rural community where my university was located. Guys, I've never seen her eye to eye. I was just a participant at that event. I'd never met her before. But through the activities of on my Facebook, she knew that this guy was prepared for this opportunity. So let me just digress to say that you will not be able to attract the opportunity you deserve with a scattered social media presence. Today you're a comedian, tomorrow you're a sport analyst, the next day you are a politician. Come on now. I mean, scattered, nothing to show that you're consistent with a particular thing. No, nobody will take you serious. Nobody will take you or perceive you as valuable. Is that okay? And so she had seen my trajectory. She has seen my antecedents, and she knew that this guy has been consistent doing this thing. Let me offer this opportunity to him. That's by the way. And so I accepted the responsibility to coordinate that event. And we were just speaking over the phone. We never met eye to eye. She was sending me money to do certain things, to make arrangement for this, for hall, for public address system, for participants. Where the challenge was in getting participants to attend the event. It was a rural community, guys, and you're bringing what is called finishing school. It's an advanced training that is popular in metropolitan towns and cities, and then you're bringing it to a rural community. It was challenging, so I remember knocking from door to door, going from house to house. Nobody was paying me any kobo, nobody was paying me any dollar, nobody was paying me. But because I saw that this woman is already succeeding at what I want, so I needed to pay the sacrifice. I needed to volunteer, right? And so I was knocking from door to door, making announcements from church to church, inviting the kids to attend. I remember a parent told me that, no, my kids, no, they will not attend. I don't know if they're going to be kidnapped. I don't know what you guys are doing, blah, 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 blah. But I kept on speaking to her. And then finally, we got about 150 young leaders to attend that event. When my boss came, the owner of the program, when she arrived, it was as though we have met for years. It was as though we've been in a relationship more than 5 years, but we just met over the internet. And the fact that she spoke in that conference. And so everything went smoothly. The train. Somebody's mic is unmuted. Mute your mic. You're distracting us. you don't want me to continue, right? So at the end of the day, 150 children and adolescents were trained. And then the next year, because of the success of 2018, 2019, we had 240 young leaders in attendance. Parents were happy, kids were happy, the community was happy, the university partnered with us, because of the great thing we did the previous year. And guys, guess what? I noticed that my name on her phone was Val from Facebook. But in 2019, it had changed to Val Okafor. So what happened within that 1 year? What happened? So it went from, oh, this random guy I met on Facebook to my mentee. Do you get the point? It went from a stranger who just helped me to execute the program to my son, my mentee, someone I can trust with further opportunities. So guys, if you have been sleeping on volunteering, please take it serious. Volunteering is not for beginners. Even experts volunteer. Experts volunteer. So start volunteering, locate somebody who is already succeeding at what you want to do and volunteer for them. Never ask for a kobo. Never ask for money. Money should be the last thing on your mind. What should be the first thing on your mind is value, experience, excellence, value, experience, excellence. These are the three things that should be at the front burner of anybody who wants to go far. If that woman had paid me 3 years ago, by now that money would have finished. True or false? True. That money would have been exhausted and finished and would have just, shook our hands and everybody go their separate ways. But no, that's not the case. I can reach out to her any day, anytime to recommend me for opportunities. Why? Because I've invested in her program. And guys, guess what? That was where my public speaking skills developed the more, because I was given an opportunity to facilitate trainings. So I had to now learn how to use PowerPoint and learn how to outline my points and do everything. And today I'm speaking to you without anything, without any paper, because I have the experience. This is what I've been doing for some years now, So if you are not able to volunteer, you're not going to get the experience that you will require to solve a problem. So if you're a graphics designer, go and volunteer for a brand. Go and volunteer for that man you want to meet. Follow them. Tell them that you're a graphics designer. You're going to make their work to be great, that you're skilled in this. If you are a content developer, locate somebody and volunteer for them. Create content for them. If you are a public speaker like me, seek to moderate sessions for them. Don't ask for money. Try to get value. Try to build experience, build capacity. One day, your name will be mentioned in the boardroom. Yes, your name will be mentioned in the boardroom, and what would have given you, say, $1,000 will now give you $10,000, $100,000, and even more. Why? Because you have already built the capacity to lead. Is it making sense to anybody? Type in the comment section, making sense, making sense, making sense, making sense. So we've talked about mentorship. We've talked about volunteering. Guys, you need to volunteer. You need to go outside your comfort zone to be able to volunteer for those who are succeeding at what you're doing. I was able to meet these top people in my industry through the activity of volunteering. I was able to get their contacts through the activity of volunteering, through answering yes, sir, yes, ma, and doing things for them, because I know that one day I will build the capacity and the experience to be able to offer solutions at this level. Is it making sense to anybody? Yeah. So you have a skill. It's not enough. Like that crude oil, go and refine your skill. And one way to refine it is through mentorship. Another way to refine it is through volunteering. These are practical steps, practical principles that you can start doing immediately. And in the next 2 months, you will call me on phone and say, Val, thank you for that lecture. I promise you, if you do it in 2 months, then you call me on phone and say, Val, thank you for giving us the principles and the secret to success, right? You will come. It has worked for me. That's why I'm sharing it with you. And so when I was already graduating, I knew what I wanted. I knew that I didn't want to join the queue to look for jobs. I knew that I didn't have the time and the patience to carry file from one table to another. So I started building the skill to offer solution to problems. And so I can gladly charge $10 each for this training, and you will pay me because you are getting value. But that value didn't come from nowhere. It came from a place of experience. It came from a place of service. It came from a place of helping to solve other people's problem, helping to build other people's businesses. A lot of young people are in a haste, and I'm wondering, why are they in a haste? In a haste to do what? When you have not built capacity, you want to answer titles. When you have not built relevance, you want to answer titles. No, that's not the best thing to do. The best thing to do is to serve. And I usually share this biblical story with them. I'm a Christian, I'm sorry if you're not. So there's a story I used to share with them, and that's the story of Elisha and Elijah. Elisha was a mentee to Elijah. Samuel, Elijah. So Elijah and Elisha. So let me tell them your story, right? So Elisha was a young prophet to Elijah. Guys, guess what? There were other prophets who were in training. And they were telling Elisha, why do you always follow this old man every time to everywhere? Your own is too much. He knew what he was looking for. What was he looking for? A double portion of Elijah's anointing. And now he was going from one crusade to another, from one outreach to another, serving, volunteering, like I said. He was volunteering. He was building value. He was building capacity. He was building experiences. He would watch Elijah as he was speaking in that crusade or in that evangelism or something. He would watch him as he would conduct, maybe miracle service and this, and how he would speak to kings. He was learning all of those things and he was noting them down. But there were other prophets in training who thought they were big boys, who thought they were too big to follow. Guess what? Elijah turned to him and asked him, what do you want? Because he had discovered this young man has been following me bumper to bumper. This young man is not even giving me breathing space. He's always, responding to certain responsibilities. He's always working. I'm assuming that Elisha will be washing his master's clothes and iron them and spray them and keep his bags and everything, doing all of those things. And the master has been observing him, watching him. One day he asked him a question, what do you want? Elisha said, thank you for this open check. I need a double portion of your anointing. Elijah said, oh, you have asked for a hard thing. Nevertheless, if you see me ascend to the sky, then you will get the mantle. He followed him. He was journeying. They crossed Jordan. And then from there, they got to the place where Elijah was going to translate into heaven. Guess what, guys? There was ferocious earthquake. And then the chariots of Israel came out, and you know the story. And he was fixated on him until he ascended and the mantle dropped. Now, here's the story. When he was coming back, he went to Jordan. That same river, his master parted. He said he called on the God of his master that oh God of Elijah, my master, and then he pointed the mantle on the river and it opened up. It was to affirm and to confirm that he had received a double portion of his master's anointing. So the volunteering was not in vain. The following was not in vain. And other prophets who were in training knew that something tremendous had happened in his life. And they started bowing down to him. They started saying, Baba, or boss, mentor, you've gotten it, the last celebrating him, And then another servant, another mentee, Gehazi, who was supposed to take maybe quadruple portion of his master's anointing, tried to cut corners like many young people are doing today. He tried to cut corners like many entrepreneurs are doing today. Like many people who don't want to sit to learn, who don't want to sit to build capacity are doing today. And so Gehazi went behind his master to collect gifts Like many young people will ask, how much are you going to pay me? How much are you going to do this? Without building capacity, without building excellence, without building value. They're asking, how much are you going? And when you give them the job, they mess up. And he messed up big time. And the anointing that was supposed to transfer to him was retained in the life of Elisha, such that when he died, a dead man was buried near him, and mistakenly he rolled over the bones of Elisha and he woke up. You can imagine the strength of that anointing. You can imagine how powerful that anointing must have been to have been able to raise a dead man. Guys, pay the price, pay the price, follow. Woo, follow through. You are going to be, you are going to reap in the end. So mentorship volunteering is key. Oh, my time is running. So one last thing I would love to say now before I hand over to the moderator is reading and attending conferences like this. Reading, attending conferences like this, it's very important. A lot of people downplay events, they downplay conferences and workshops, they downplay the power of reading. Do you know that the best way to interact with great minds is through their books? I've never met John Maxwell, he's an authority in leadership, but I've met John Maxwell through his books. I've never met Benjamin Carson, who is a renowned doctor, but I've met Ben Carson through his books. But because through their books, they pour out their heart, they pour out their mind. So I'm interacting with Carson, I'm interacting with Maxwell through their materials. Who have you interacted with lately in your industry? Who? You can do this through books. You can do this through events, through conferences, through workshops, through trainings like this now. Okay, so you haven't read any book, but from what I've shared to you, you can act on them and see results. That's the power of events. That's the power of conferences. That's the power of workshops, and that's one of the best ways to sharpen your skill, to develop your skill. When you see other people performing, you pick one or two things from them. You pick one or two principles from them. You look at the way that they do these things, and that's the best way to learn. So guys, I will just recap before I give room if there are questions or concerns. Mentorship, very important. So locate your Elijah today. Locate your Elijahs today, guys. And like Elisha, pour water in their hands. Pour water in their hands, serve them. And I love to say this before I forget. If you want to turn your role model into your mentor, there are certain things you need to do. Look at this, your mentor. How much of your mentor do you know? How much of your mentor do you know? You know, I started an instance where I approached a mentor in their inbox and I say, hello, Ma, my name is Val Okafor. I want you to mentor me. That's example number one. Example number two says, hello, Ma, my name is Val Okafor. I help individuals and corporations achieve exponential growth through leadership development trainings. And you have been inspiring in the field of leadership. I listened to one of your trainings where you had people listening to you in the US. You spoke about this, and you outlined principles that will help them to succeed in this. I would love to be in connection with you so that I will learn how best to offer solutions. Can you see the difference in the two approaches? The mentor will say, oh, this person has been following me. This person is following my activities. But this person said, Ma, my name is this, please mentor me. Wrong, wrong, wrong. This person introduced himself well, mentioned what you have done. So that gives you a common ground. And then say, okay, yeah, I remember. I actually spoke in the US, I spoke on this. Okay, this person is following, this person is serious. Two, you have to know that mentorship can be transactional in the beginning. Yeah. So the mentality of do it free should be killed tonight. The mentality of do it free always should be killed tonight. So has this mentor written a book? Get the book. Does this mentor run a course? get the course. Through that relationship, you'll be able to win the heart of your mentor. It's different to say, hello, sir, I just got your book and I finished your book. I love the principles you shared in that book, and I've been applying them and I'm seeing results. Thank you for pouring yourself into humanity through your book. I would love to be in constant connection with you for further learning. Does that make sense, guys? Or and through that relationship, we started transactionally, it now moved into deeper relationship, because mentorship is a deeper relationship. Do they have a course? Pay for their courses. These are access ways to identify and to make your role model your mentor. And then celebrate their special moments. It's their anniversary or their birthdays or something very remarkable in their life. Don't just be like everybody that says, congratulations, sir, congratulations, ma, this one. No, you have to go deeper because you're looking for something. So go beyond congratulations or happy birthday, ma, to actually getting them something. And I'm not asking you to get them the entire world. Get something valuable, get gifts for them with a written note. It makes, I have done it. I remember when I traveled to Lagos for a training and I bought gifts for my mentors. One of my mentors said that, Val, you are the only person that has done this in my entire life. I mean, people always take away from me and nobody considers giving because they think we have it all. And so you're the only person that has done this. And I felt great. So don't just be at the receiving end. You want to suck, and suck. Why not give? Celebrate the special moment. If it's their anniversary or their birthdays or something very remarkable in their life, don't join the bandwagon to send random messages. No, be very deliberate and intentional, and I'm sure that the relationship will be deeper. So guys, on this note, this is where I will stop to take questions if there's any remarks and feedback. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you got value tonight. Thank you. Over to you, moderator.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Mr. Val. Thank you. We do appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you again. Thank you so much for giving us a time. Thank you for all the insightful discussions. We thank you. So many takeaways from this. And we promise you that we're going to learn. We'll continue to learn. And we'll implement all that we've said.
Thank you.
Thank you. So guys, if you have questions, you can just drop them so he can answer those before he leaves. We're waiting for questions. Just drop them in the inbox now so he can pick them and answer them. Or maybe I'll just pick them, read them out to answer how easy they work. He's been talking for a while now. So you drop your questions if you have any. So I'll pick them up, read them up, and then respond. Magdalene, you unmuted your mic. You want to say something? Okay, we have 9 people left.
I think I want to say something.
Okay, somewhere, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I want to say something. Okay. Mr. Val talked about ways to get close to your mentor. What if this mentor has had an experience, a bad experience with people that come close to them for mentoring? And you mentor, you want to be a mentee now, because some of them will say, I've passed through a lot of people that know the stuff, that can do the stuff, but like I don't want to mentor people again because of my experiences with them. So how can I able to get close to them? So this kind of mentors. I think that's it.
Okay, Summer, thank you very much. If I may get you right, because in the latter part of your question. The line was breaking. I couldn't hear very well. I just hope that Mr. Val heard everything you said. But if
Yeah, I did. I did.
oh, okay, fine. So you can go ahead and answer. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, Mr. Samuel, that's a very fantastic question. And yes, it has happened. But then you really have to prove that you're different. You really have to prove that you're not like other people, right? So there are persons who have come to me and said, Val, I want you to mentor me. I want you to help me in certain areas. And I did, you know, even though I'm not expecting them to come back to say thank you, because I didn't do that for them to say thank you to me, but I expect them to be rational. I expect them to keep me updated with the activities, and they didn't. So that made me to be very reluctant in mentoring people or accepting mentorship roles. However, until somebody proved otherwise, somebody had to prove that he is worthy of my time. Guess what the person did? The person said, Val, I want to take care of all your graphics. I want to take care of anything known as branding. Just give it to me. So you can see the perspective he came from. He didn't come to suck me, he came to offer value. And with that value, access was granted. Access. So you have to prove that you're different, right? You have to prove that you're somebody who is responsible, somebody who will not take opportunities for granted, because I believe that there are so many people who have done something wrong to you, and you made up your mind, I'm not going to help people anymore. But you have helped in the recent past. So what happened? And what did this other set of people do to make you to change your mind? So it depends on individuals' perspective and how individuals approach certain situations. So the ball is in your court. Yeah, the ball is in your court to prove that you're different. Have I answered your question, Mr. Samuel?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You've done that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
God bless.
Amen.
Thank you very well. Thank you for taking your time to explain that. That was very valid. Samuel, thank you for questions. We're still waiting for feedback and other questions to provide.
Okay, I saw something in the comment section. Let me try to read it. It says, please, if you're doing something for the people and you find out that they didn't even value it to the level that they even hate taking part on it, at the point, what is the best option? Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is to, first of all, find out if the value you're bringing to the table is what they want. Because sometimes we assume we know what people want. Sometimes we assume we have the solutions to people's problems without even doing what is called needs assessment survey. Needs assessment survey will help you to identify, oh, these people are suffering from low self-esteem. Oh, these people, their problem is leaking roof and not market. You see? So those people who lead us, our political overlords, think they know our problems. So they just start constructing roads instead of providing access to education, putting round pegs in square holes. So they think they know our problems. And so sometimes when they offer the solution in their head, instead of celebrating, they will start saying confused people. So that's one thing you should know. The value I'm bringing to this set of people, do they really need it? Do they really, is it their pressing need? If it's their pressing need, fine. Because at some point, there was something Jesus Christ said, that you don't cast costly pearls on swine. That would be a waste of money, right? So, if they really need that service and you're offering it to them and they're not taking part in it, they don't even care, they think that you're wasting your time, or they think that you're trying to show off, and everybody is reluctant about it, guess what? Please don't spend your energy on where you are tolerated. Go to where you are celebrated. Yeah, let me say it again. Do not spend your energy and time on where you are tolerated. go to where you will be celebrated. And that was what happened to Jesus. He left Nazareth because people were, I know him, the son of a carpenter. What is he up to? What's he going to do? Can any good thing come out from Nazareth? That's the question people are asking. Can any good thing come out from, who is this guy? Who is this girl trying to do something? You want to show us that you're wise? Can any good thing come out from this person? Leave that environment and go to where you'll be celebrated. Make sure that your results is able to cancel their insults. Make sure that your result is able to cancel their doubts. So for me, I would say focus on the people who really do not know you, who really do not know your background, who really do not know where you're coming from, because there's something called familiarity complex. And familiarity complex will be able to blind somebody's eyes and say, it's not Samuel. I know him. I know his father. I know the secondary school he went to. I know the primary school he went to. So what is he going to say to me that will add value to me? But somebody who doesn't know Samuel will pay more attention to what you're saying. So guys, focus on your cold market. It's called cold market, people who do not know you. Then warm market consists of people who know you. Focus on the people who really do not know you. Focus on adding value to their lives. And the results that will manifest from that place will be able to convince these ones that are back home, who think they've seen you all, who think they know you all, And I'm sure that by the time your results is able to cancel their insult and the doubts, they will give you a listening ear and they want to collaborate with you. So be result oriented, and that's the last thing I will say. Be results oriented. Okay, don't try to prove a point. Don't try to please anybody. Just do the things that you know are right. Make sure it is result oriented. They will be the one running to you to say, I want to be part of what you're doing. I want to collaborate with you. I've seen the results that you're being able to achieve, and I want to be part of this thing. I hope that answers your question, and thank you very much for asking.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you so very much. Our time is fast spent. And so just to paraphrase from today's teaching, get yourself a mentor, read books, join training courses, and then practice. Is the hallmark of everything our facilitator tonight tried to put to us, and he did that excellently. We want to thank you. Thank you so much for this time given us. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us. I would ask that maybe you just give us some books so we can find to read, just recommended books from you on mentorship or skill development, any that we can read. To have them readily available, you can just call them out. So many other people would be maybe wanting to get something to read for themselves and all of that. So if you have books on mentorship or skill development that you need to share with us for people to read for themselves, we would appreciate that.
Right. Okay, so I will do that and possibly send it to uh, the moderator or the host, and then he will share from that end. Okay? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's very fine. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So thank you guys. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for tuning in. This is where we'll come to the end of this program today. Thank you, Mr. Val. May God bless you richly. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you all. Thank you very much. I had an incredible time. All right.
Okay, I think I have a question.
Oh wow. All right, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What if you encounter a person that used to feel inferiority? I mean, you used to feel inferior. When you're around people, you feel shy and you're inferior to others. You think that I can't stand before these ones. Yeah, they're more than me, or their standard are too high than me. So how can you be able to defeat such feelings and emotions?
Great. So I was there, Sam. I was there so many years ago. I had imposter syndrome. I thought, hey, if I open my mouth now, people are going to laugh at me because what am I going to say? I was there, so I understand everything you're talking about. But guess what, guys? I've come to discover that knowledge of who you are is powerful. I love to say this. I was in a training 2 days ago, and I told them, guys, you need to understand where you're coming from. If you understand where you're coming from, that will now give you power. So let's assume that your father is the president of your country. Will there be anything impossible in your eyes? The answer is no. Would you be afraid, oh, I don't have money to go to the gas station or to buy this? The answer is no. Why? There is the knowledge that my father is the president. There's a knowledge that I am living in abundance. So that knowledge alone gives you the confidence. So, guys, I started asking myself questions. Val, who are you really? Where are you from? And I'm not even asking my state of origin or my country. No, it's beyond that. It's beyond coming from Kenya. It's beyond coming from Sierra Leone. It's beyond coming from the US or Nigeria. Where are you from in relation to your creation? I discovered, oh, guys, I'm from God. And we all agree that God is handsome. We all agree that God is smart. God is intelligent. God is creative. Oh my God. So a bench is only as strong as the tree it came from. Wow. So if I'm from God, it means I have these abilities. I'm handsome. As though I don't need anybody to agree or not. I'm handsome. I'm creative. I'm smart because I'm coming from a source that is smart. You get the point? So that was the foundation that was trying to shape my perception. Another thing was there is something I have that the 7.8 billion people in the world today doesn't have. We may be similar, but we can never be the same. Everybody came with a. Our reward does not lie in our similarity. Our reward lies in our differences. And that is why people will choose to buy Apple over the Android phone because they are different. However, they are phones. They are similar in operation, but they have unique differences. So it is the unique differences people are paying attention to. So the question is, are you different? Yes. Have you identified that you're different? Yes. Do you have have you started deploying that your difference? That's where we'll now start having problems. So if you have this knowledge, you know that there's something I know, and there's how I can do something that these people cannot. They can never be me. They can never be me, and I can never be them. You see, God is so awesome. And he put those differences so that we'll be able to complement one another. So I'll be able to, like, you guys are listening to me. I know that in this house there are writers. I may not be a prolific writer like them, so I have to pay attention to that skill to get value from a writer, like you're getting value from a speaker. Another person is a musician. I have to listen. So, these things are divided, and if you pay attention to your unique difference, you will be able to be confident and say, there's something I know. There's something I know that the next person doesn't know. That's foundational knowledge. And after you've known this, the next thing to do is to step out and start deploying. The real change lies in deploying. It was when I started speaking that I knew, oh, I could speak. It was when I now got involved in the activity that I knew, oh, wow, so I can do this. So you never know how talented you are. You never know how gifted and confident you are until you step out. Abdul says, you are indeed not left any stone unturned. So after you've gotten this knowledge guide, the next thing to do is to deploy. So they say, you cannot speak the more, speak every day. They say you cannot write every day, write every day, learn how to write. Learn how to write, learn how to speak, and speak every day, write every day, sing every day, act every day, dance every day. What you do 10,000 times becomes part of you. And like, you don't need to Koloa. You don't need to fast and pray. You don't need to say, wait, let me go to the mountain to be able to tell your name. Why? Over time, you've known your name. For the number of years you've lived on earth, you've been hearing this name called by your parents or your siblings or your colleagues. So they call you every day and it has registered in your subconscious. So if I ask what's your name, you don't need to scratch your head to tell me your name. You know it. That is how these skills work. That is how these confidence things work. You know it. You've been doing it over time. Like, guys, I told you, I'm not speaking from anywhere. I'm not speaking from any book. I don't need it because it's here. It's what I've been doing over time. And so because I've been doing it over time, I don't need to fast and pray to say I'm coming to speak to these people, yeah, but prayer is important, but the point where I'm coming from, I don't need to beat my head or scratch my head and say, hey, what will I say? What will I not say? No, because I've practiced them. So these are the things you need to do, and you'll see your confidence shoot up to the highest level. Thank you. I've taken more than my time, and I know that you've gotten value tonight. Yeah, Samuel, I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, sir, you've done it. You've done it. You just answered it. I thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you on the other side. I need to jump on another activity. Thanks. It's nice to meet you all. Abdul, Magdalene, Samuel. It's nice to meet you all of you. Great guys. John, great guys. And those who have left. So all the best. Have a great week. Cheers to groundbreaking accomplishments.